Hi guys, it's Vince here. I'm going to do a little video inspired by Aaron, the metal theologian. He made a video of some 45 sleeves that he personally made for records that he didn't have sleeves for, put with full artwork and all that. And even though I'd done that a few times when I was really young, nothing where I'd want to show the art. But what I do have is I have some covers for pretend bands that I made up, probably between the time I was 11 up to 14 when I got into my first real band. I would make up pretend bands and make up logos for them and draw pictures of them and things of that nature. And in the case of these, I actually made album covers. Now, these first group I'm going to show you is kind of interesting because the way me, my brother, and my friend John decided how we were going to do these groups that we were going to make up was we were going to take records and play them on different speeds to get kind of the chipmunk effect, but on different levels, so some were faster than others. Not that we were actually going to record this stuff to listen to, but just to get an idea of who would get what animal, because these were animal groups. So the one I had was cats, and the way we did mine was I would have records that were full albums played on 45. My friend John had a group called Buck that was bunnies, and his was 45s played on 78. And then my brother had wild mice. He had mice, so his were albums played on 78. So anyway, we each made covers for our records and our pretend records. And so mine was Scratch, and mine was Cats. So it's kind of named after cats that we had, or friends of ours cats. And one was actually Pretend Cat, because we only had 3. So anyway, so I made up these covers, and for some reason when I made these covers, I did them at 45 size instead of the full album size. Kind of like a precursor to CDs, but these are actually bigger. So I'll show you some of the ones I actually still do have, because I don't have them all. I made a bunch of them for this one. But this is the first one. It's called Scratch, is the group. And that's Putty. That was our main cat, the first one we had. So she's obviously the main character. And you can see Scratch, the logo is scratched into her fur. Obviously they're on Columbia for some reason. And I drew a little spine on there. Now on these I didn't do back covers, except for I think I've got one back cover without a front cover, which I don't remember which one it went to, but I'll show you that one. So basically what I did was I just did the front covers on these. Some of them I did do full covers, but I don't have too many of those left. But I'll show you what I did for records, because I would put a record inside too, to pretend like there was an actual album in there. But let me show you a few more covers. This is Scratch 4. So it's the Scratch logo. It scrolled into a mountain for some reason. I think I took that from Mountain or something. But to give you an idea, these were a bunch of the songs that were picked to go on this album. These were all songs that I had on album, that if I were to actually play Scratch, I would play them on 45. And so it tells you what the songs were and who the artist is and all that. So I had those for each of these. So the next one is, according to this, is the 5th one. This was named after one of the songs on here, which is Theme for an Imaginary Western, which was a song by Mountain. So that's what its name is, and you see a little stupid cowboy theme on here. And then a barn over here with the Scratch logo. And then here's the songs that I picked for this one. So there's that one. Now this one says is the 7th one. I numbered them all so I could tell which is which, what order they went in. This is called Scratch and Roll. There's Putty standing up with her outfit on, holding her guitar and holding out her claws. And this one, the song list fell off, so I can't show you that one. And the next one is called 80, for 1980, to give you an idea of the time period that I did these. This one's Scratch and Fire, and it's melting down here. And there's the 80 and a pitchfork. So that's 80. Now here's the one I have the back cover that I don't have the front cover up anymore. I wish I had all of these, but I have another set of a different group that I made up that I do have all of them. I'll show you those. So I'm not sure what this one's called because I didn't write the cover on the back, but you can see the artwork. It's got cat claws clawing down the neck of the guitar. And then I have the songs over here. I don't know if you can read these. They're kind of red marker, doesn't show up too well. At least you can get an idea anyway. So that's a back cover, and I don't remember what the front cover looked like. This one's going to be hard to see. This is the last one I have. It's called Galactic Guitar, but I did it in crayon. So it's all kind of muddy looking. I'll tell you what's what. Now the scratch logo is all kind of beat up in the corner here in this little moon thing. Then there's the guitar a la Boston. And then Galactic Guitar down here in the space. And then there's a planet with a bunch of rings around it. This one I didn't write any songs on, so obviously I didn't get that far with this one. That's those. Now to go along with it, like I said, I would put records inside. And for the records I would make up custom labels for them. And I have a few of those. This is one I don't have the cover for anymore. It's actually Scratch a Live 2. I don't even have a Live 1 anymore. But what I did was, I would take a real record that I didn't want, and I would tape a custom label on top and pretend it was an album. And actually went as far on some of these to actually draw like lines to show where the beginning of songs were, which didn't turn out so well, but I did it anyway. So that's Scratch a Live 2. And this one has Inside Looking Out by Grand Funk and Beneath, Between, and Behind by Rush on it. That takes up the whole side. The next one I'm going to show you is from another one I don't have the cover for, but it's called Got 9 Lives to Rock and Roll. And there's the custom label there. And then you can see the songs on there. So there's Running Wild, which is Maiden. Kicks, which was by a group called Earthquake. New York Waits, which I don't remember what that is. And then Razamanaz, which is Nazareth. Then on this side, Where Are We Going Wrong by Cream. In the Eye of the Sun, which is actually a Doors song off one of the albums after Morrison died. My Mirage, which is Iron Butterfly. Mississippi Queen, obviously you know what that is. And then Communication Breakdown, which is of course Zeppelin. The last two I'm going to show you, I don't have the record that went on them anymore, but I'm going to show you the labels. I wish I still had this cover because it's kind of goofy. The cover itself, the album's called Dirty, which was named after a Guess Who song that I put on here. And the cover was a bunch of different shirts. One was clean, one wasn't clean, and another one. And it was like which one was washed with whatever detergent or whatever. It's kind of stupid, but you know, I was a kid. Anyway, this is the clean shirt. And we got Black Beauty, which I'm not sure who that is. Beneath, Between, Behind, which is of course Rush. Magnum Opus, which is Kansas. And I don't know what Insanity is in there. I don't remember some of these. And then here's the flip side, which is the Dirty shirt. And that's Dirty, the Guess Who tune. And You're So Rude, which I think is a Faces tune. Desperation, which is another Iron Butterfly song. And I don't remember what Indian Summer is. Anyway, that's those. So, it's one of the things I did. Now, the other thing that I used to do was, me, my brother, and a friend of mine, Kevin, that lived 2 houses down from us, we would have this little pretend air band. We'd actually do little pretend concerts, usually in his living room. What we'd do is we'd close his blinds. He had one of those big console wood stereo thingies, and he'd hook his cassette deck into the stereo, plug in 2 cassette microphones, hang them from the ceiling, and we would sing into them to, usually, I'm playing Kiss right now, which is one of the reasons, because usually the first 3 Kiss albums, along with Aerosmith and a few other groups, we would just throw the album on and just kind of fake along to it with either tennis rackets, or I actually made these pretend guitars for a while. They were made out of wood that were kind of a pain. So it was usually tennis rackets. And we just sing along into this microphone, and the microphone was hooked in the cassette deck, pressed on record, so her voices would actually come through the stereo along with the record, so we could actually hear herself sings with it. And so we'd set up in this living room, and in the corner he had a big organ. And then my brother used to take 3 of his kitchen chairs and put them like around the couch, sit on the couch, and then drum on the chairs with drumsticks and rip the shit out of the cushions. So anyway, that's, you know, before I got into my first real band, that's what we were doing. And I made records for this group. And this pretend group was called Jewel. So, in the same vein of the other ones, except for I actually made these with card, so they're heavy, and they all have back covers. And what I did was I used these, and then I put covering on the top of them, and then taped them around the outside. So this is the first Jewel album, called Jewel 1. There's the Jewel logo. I always have to have a logo. So for Jewel, I based it on songs that we would used to mimic to. So actually the first side of the first Jewel album is actually the first side of Kiss, which is what we're listening to now. The second side has Smoke on the Water and Highway Star, and Burn by Deep Purple, and St. Vitus Dance by Black Sabbath. And then we have now we had John the kid who made the Buck albums. We also let him be part of the group for a little while, but he never came over to do any of our concerts, so we booted him out, sort of. And there's me. And there's Kevin, the one kid from a couple houses down, whose house we used to use. And there's my brother. So that's the first one. Now some of these actually, I made cardboard records in the same vein, except I actually drew lines for the songs on those. So I'll show you one of those once I get to that. And here's the next one. This one's actually a gatefold. This one's called A Jewel is a Hard Rock. Now I stole this cover idea from a group called Legs Diamond, who had an album called Diamond is a Hard Rock. But on mine I put a lady with a necklace on. Theirs was different. Those was a hand with a ring on it. So anyway, that's that. Now this is a gatefold. These are all hand-drawn pictures of everybody. My brother's actually playing a drum kit, because he actually did have a drum kit. We got one in 78, Christmas of 78. But we didn't use it for the pretend thing. But we showed Pitt when we drew pictures of him, I had him playing a real kit instead of chairs. So that's me. That's the kid, John, the one who did the Buck thing. And that's Kevin. And there's the song list. As you can see right there, there's a whole bunch of tunes we used to mimic to. And then album credits. And this was actually on Graco Records, I don't know why. And there's my address growing up. And this says 1980. And there's the back, lady's back, with the songs on there. The next one is Jewel Live, sort of. And this actually has real pictures on it that were taken. We did 2 different settings, and we gave them names like there were 2 different clubs. This was the back room in Atlanta. It was actually my basement. And that's our real drum kit. And a mic stand. And then something we used to pretend to be an organ for pictures back there. This is actually that kid Kevin's living room. That's the organ I was telling you about that I used to pretend on. So I'm on the organ with the hat on. And that's Kevin over here. And on the back here we've got, that's my basement again. That's me on my tennis racket. And John. And now at Kevin's house too, we didn't actually play them, but in his hallway going up the stairs, they had these goofy mirrors on there. So we took pictures over there with this mirror behind here. And that's actually my brother sitting on Kevin's shoulders. I don't know what that, I guess they thought it was cool or something. And here's your old track listing. And then this one's got a gatefold. There's individual pictures. There's me, there's John, there's my brother actually on the drum kit. I don't know where he got that outfit. It's like a Halloween costume. And then there's Kevin in that hallway with the mirrors on it. And in this one I actually made a poster, so to speak, which just has 4 pictures that we took. Oh, I'm not showing this one. I'm actually shirtless. I guess I thought it was cool or something. There's John wearing a cape for some reason. And there's me and my brother. And I'm on that pretend keyboard thing. And there's my brother on the drums and me posing with my fake guitar. That one doesn't have a record either. One of these does have a record, so I can show you. Oh, I just realized something. This isn't the one I was talking about. This is A Jewel is a Girl's Best Friend, which I just made up. This is A Jewel is a Hard Rock, and I actually did copy this cover. I actually pilfered this cover from Legs Diamond. So there's that one. There's the back and the credits. I don't know if you can read the song titles, but you got Renegade, which is Styx, You're All I've Got Tonight by the Cars, Roll Over Lay Down by Status Quo, Stone Blue by Foghat, Kissin' Time, Deuce. There's actually Kiss tunes on the flip side, which I actually think is side 2 of the first Kiss album, because we always used to do it to that one. Now this one actually has one of the records. This was one of my hand-drawn records. It's on VGI Records, I guess. I drew the lines for songs. I don't remember how I did that. I think I used one of those protractor thingies. I got one more. This is Jewel Pyramid. Now this one actually pilfered the artwork from a magazine because I thought that looked cool. That picture there. And then on the back has one of those pictures from that living room we used to do our fake show in. There you only get to see my arm. There's that guy Kevin wearing a cowboy hat for some reason. There's my brother, dazed and confused. Now my brother was 4 years younger than me. So he was, what, 1980, he was 10. That's why he looks so young. And there's the songs on that one. And this one has a record as well. So I'll show you this one. You see I stole the triangle idea from Dark Side of the Moon. And then here's the flip. This one's brown. I don't know why it's different, but it is. So yeah, that's some of what I used to do. I also used to draw logos from real bands and draw pictures of real bands and stuff and give them away to people in school. And then pretty much after I got out of high school, I really stopped drawing. Ironically enough, my son is a really good drawer as well as a musician. And then both of my daughters are both capable of drawing, and my youngest daughter actually sings in chorus. My older daughter sang in chorus too for a while, but then she stopped. But so I got some art in the family, which is kind of cool. So figured I'd bring you into the world of embarrassment for me and show you my pre-band days, and then show you how much I was into records and music and wanting to have a band and all that stuff when I was a kid. So that's it for this one. Hope you found it interesting. And I'm not embarrassed by it anymore. It was 100 years ago. So, but I'm kind of proud that I was young and doing stuff like that. So I'm out of here. Take it easy, and I'll catch you later.